Hey, this is Carl Franklin,
Hi, I'm Richard Campbell.
and we're here for the finals of Speaker Idol. I'm glad you're all here. We have 4 contestants who won earlier in the week, plus 1 runner-up. They will compete now for the coveted speaker slot at TechEd next year.
And it's an interesting truth that we make videos of all of the contestants, and a lot of them end up speaking at TechEd. So while it's great to win, the more important thing here is we got to see some amazing speakers, and hopefully they'll be coming to TechEd next year and the years following.
But let's find out who our judges are, Richard.
All right, Billy, I'm going to start with you.
Hey, Richard, Billy Hollis, longtime TechEd speaker, software writer, and general contrarian in the industry. And it's been an experience to watch these guys, and because they're so much better now than I was back when I started speaking at national conferences. So this is going to be hard today to judge these guys. They're all very good.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm not a judge, Billy, and I really appreciate you helping us out here. And you said that very first day. You said every one of those contestants was a better speaker than I was when I started. And it's true. These are all very skilled speakers that just haven't broken into TechEd before. Mr. Manassi, thanks for joining us.
Mark Manassi, writer, speaker, wealthy man about town. And it's nice to hear you actually admitting in public that you are a craven coward. I do this for Richard because he's a good friend of mine. I hate this job. I have to piss off 3 people who are probably great speakers, and I only make 1 happy. So, but for you, anything, brother.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, Paula. Thanks for coming out.
Richard, hi. My name is Paula. I'm speaking on security subjects on TechEd and several other conferences as well. And I've been in the same position as guys speaking today. So I keep my fingers crossed, and I would like to make some comments as well. Thanks.
What was it like being in the finals? You've done it a couple of times, actually. Tell us a little bit about the experience. What are these guys going through right now?
Well, it's pretty stressful, but on the other hand, you know what it's all about. Yeah, so you know what to expect. And in my case, I just really enjoy it. This was my goal. So I was doing this in Los Angeles, and I saw that big crowd, like of 600 people, being a little bit drunk, to be sincere, because it was the party. So that made my situation. And yeah, I had fun, and they had fun. So at least as you get crowd engaged, that was very nice.
And she didn't win. She came in as a runner-up, and she spoke at TechEd Europe the next year.
See what happens?
Yeah. Mr. Rose.
I'm Stephen Rose, and I'm friends with Mark Manassi.
I can introduce you now. Windows, one of the Windows Tracks chairs, so he actually selects speakers for TechEd. A good friend of mine, we know each other a long time, and leader of the Springboard group, and threw an epic party last night, which I'm still feeling.
I'm still there. I don't know what's on you.
Still at that party.
And let's introduce our first contestant, Patrick Brewer.
How you doing?
Round of applause for Patrick Brewer.
Thank you.
Hand of applause. 2 hands, actually. Tell us about yourself, Patrick.
I'm a SQL DBA. I've been working with SQL Server since version 4.21 back in '96. I've done some other development in C# Visual Studio, but I'm mainly a SQL Server DBA.
Awesome. What are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about using Microsoft Business Intelligence and how you can optimize it to run reports and a little social media stuff.
All right, take it away.
All right,
Patrick
thank you.
Brewer.
So again, my name is Patrick Brewer. I'm here to talk to you about providing data insights using Microsoft Business Intelligence. And like I talked on Tuesday, a lot of the speakers are worried about what their scores are. And today, we are going to talk about the fight for speaker wars. All right? Now here's a typical report. How many of you love slow reports? I love slow reports. Any of you? Does this look typical? How fast and how wonderful is this for you? As you can see, it keeps taking time and time. So you're going to throw your laptop through the wall, you're going to yell at it, you're going to curse at it. How can we make this report faster? The first thing we can do is hire our superhero DBA. And what can he do to fix it? He can add a column store index. Now, you wonder what a column store index is. Well, if you look around, all your chairs are lined up as a normal index by row. What a column store index is going to do is it's going to pivot it into a column. And this pivot is going to cause it to have great data compression. What does data compression do for you? It optimizes I/O, allowing you to fetch only the data you need. Data you need is faster. It gets you better hits on your buffer cache. So what does it take to get a column store index? Oh, let me, there we go. Oops, I jumped into the wrong thing. Sorry about that. I am messing up here. If you can look at the column store index, we can zoom in and see that we have all the columns of our table in there. The reason why you do that is because it needs every column to pivot that table into a column store index. So once we execute that, we get a much faster report. Why? Because we're pulling only the data we need. If you can imagine 100 million records, you may only have 1,000 sales associates. Those sales associates in a column is very small. The next thing, who's talking about our sessions? How many people hear Twitter? All right. So you sit there and you have people out there tweeting how great your sessions are. Okay? What if I could show you a way to do your Twitter, using Microsoft SQL or Microsoft Excel with the Twitter analytics. As you can see, I have a bunch of Twitter accounts there, and I'm going to jump in to analytics for Twitter. I'm going to run a new query. Control V. I'm going to search, and you can see live tweets right now. As you can see over there, you have tweets going. We have tweets running right now, live. How many tweets are we going to get? It just depends. It takes a little bit for this to run. But live data, everybody wants to know what their data is live. Well, today, you can run this Excel add-on, download it into Office 365, and I can see our network speed is really low. Yeah, there's Stefan right here. We update our data. Wow, this is slow. I'm sorry it's taking so long. You do, you do have a lot of tweets. It's not going to work. Let's go ahead and refresh our data for the, well, it's locked up. Well, if you can look around, you can see that we have all our Twitter data, time of day, top tweeters, all of that, all built into Excel. And that can be live data, so you know what your scores are right away. I'd like to thank you for your time. If you need more information, I'd like to answer any questions. Otherwise, we can talk about it after the session here today. Thank you very much.
Patrick Brewer.
All right.
Hey, Patrick, come on over here. Let's find out what the judges thought about you.
Billy, I'm going to start with you.
Okay. Patrick, you slipped a little bit from your earlier winning performance.
I did,
think.
yes, I did.
And a little bit more, some more conversational ticks, some uhs and rights and such, and you know how I jump on that. Generally, of course, you wouldn't have gotten here unless you were very good, and it was very good. The thing at the end, the demo at the end, I actually like that demo. It's kind of a risk-return thing.
It is.
You take a risk when you do that kind of demo, but if it works out very well, it has very high value add for. So what I'm telling you there is just because it didn't quite pay off this time is no reason not to stretch things a little bit for those kind of demos in the future.
Thanks, Billy. Mark?
So the demo thing failed. It happens, man. You know,
Right.
You Billy's right that I think that's probably why some of the conversational tics came out. If I can offer a tiny bit of advice. A long time ago, I realized it's a longer story, but we say for a very specific reason. It's to say, I'm not done talking, don't interrupt me. Which if it's you and me at a bar, that's fine. But you're controlling the conversation. A long time ago, I realized I don't have to say anything. And if I'm just thinking, I actually had someone come up to me and said, you know, I'm so astounded that you stop, you're quiet, you're actually thinking about what you're going to say to us, which I'm not, but it made me look much better than I was. So that's... and I'm sorry, but I got to ding you for one thing.
Yes.
Because it drives me crazy. First of all, you're prepared, you know your stuff, and you talked about stuff that I don't know entirely, I know a little of, and you excited me to learn more about it, so that's all great stuff. But you depended on the show network. That's death. I'm serious, that's death. I mean, I actually had a joke in my talk I did Monday where I had a fake network analysis tool that said, dude, it's first day on Tech Ed, you think you get bandwidth? And got a big laugh, you know? So, I mean, get a hotspot. Get your own personal hotspot. I use one from Verizon. Doesn't cost that much. Saves my bacon. I would never, ever teach a class with hotel internet or conference internet. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. Paula?
Yeah, I like it very much, but a couple of technical comments.
Okay.
The colon
Yes.
should be there. Should be removed. Should be removed.
For the coolness factor?
Yeah, if there is a chance that you can display the slide, I will show you exactly what I... Yeah, so it was like too much. Yes,
Okay.
I noticed it, and that's like staying in my head. You were a little bit stressed, but that's totally understood because it's a speaker item final. So a couple of techniques probably like before the presentation could be useful when you like stretch yourself and this kind of stuff. So I don't want to repeat myself because I already told you that. But this is something that helps here. Whenever you are Zoom meeting
Yes.
pictures, your hand was very shaking.
It does that,
the thing is that to make it like still, you just click. Yes, and you can do this even with shaking hands, and then you do click escape, and then you go out from the mode. So it will be really nice because you don't see the view, and I was like, woo, yes. So a couple of comments related to that. Besides that, I like that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Paula. Stephen, last word.
Good analogies. I love a good analogy. I think it helps your audience. I think that's just a great way to connect, which is good. Careful with, when you talk about social media, use the term twitting. It should be tweeting.
Tweeting.
And be careful because you can lose some credibility there.
Okay.
Once you've spoken a lot, I tend to judge speakers not by what they do right, but how well they cover up what they do wrong. So practice it. Practice in the middle of a crash. What am I going to do? How do I vamp? You always have at every key part, how am I going to do this if I have to go online or it's a screenshot or talk through it? Or say, you know what, hey, it blew up, that's great. Here's what we're going to do. And then you're drawing, you're writing, you're doing puppets, shadow puppets, whatever. You need to just do that to keep that audience going and engaged. So practice having failures. Practice if this thing blows up,
what am I going to do?
What am I going to do? And how am I going to get through this? So, and once you know that, no matter what part you're at, you're comfortable with doing it. And it definitely helps. Plan for worst, and then everything is up from there.
All right.
But nice job.
Thank you.
Hi, Jessica.
How are you?
Big hand, come on.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about yourself, Jessica.
Thank you, pal. My name is Jessica Vida. I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I'm in Southern California in Santa Monica. This is my third Tech Ed and my first time doing Speaker Idol, and it's really fun to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, it's great to have you. What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about Office 365 migrations and what does that look like in your environment, and give you some road-tested tips to help you get through that and have that project be a success.
Great, Jessica. Take it away. Jessica DeVita.
Thank you so much. So, as I said, I'm Jessica DeVita. You can find me on Twitter at UberGeekGirl, and love to talk to you on social media because it's a great connector. Office 365 migrations. So, these projects have a really great opportunity to either be very successful in your environment, or they can be get a real black eye if you don't do them well. So I'd like to take you through a couple of tips to help make that project a success. So our agenda today, we're going to talk about going from an on-premise Exchange server to Office 365. We're going to talk about some tales of caution and give you some tips and tools to get you started. So why the cloud? Why are we taking email off-premise, right? Quick show of hands, how many of you still have Exchange servers running on-premise in your environment? Great, great. So, and I love Exchange, right? Exchange on premise is awesome in the right environment. But there's a couple of environments where, it doesn't make sense to go to the cloud. But if you have compliance issues, if you have HIPAA, if you have Sarbanes-Oxley issues, it's not the right thing for you. But if you don't have those issues, take your email to the cloud, because I guarantee you that Microsoft knows how to run Exchange better than you and I put together. The internet is everywhere. Bring your own device is prevalent and more, and people and users are expecting to have their email. They're expecting to have their email everywhere. So the internet, it's available, and we're going to be able to deliver those things to you quickly if you move your email to the cloud. So these are some actual power-up procedures that were found in a server room. Anybody seen this? Okay, this is real. If you have this going on, let's talk about Office 365. $30,000. This is the last check written by a client for their last on-premise server, and now we've taken them to Office 365. Because writing that check, the businesses don't want to do that anymore. They want to move you from the capital expenditures to the operations expense. And if you're the technician that can help take them there, you're going to be the star. So especially when they see that check compared with the monthly costs, this is an easy thing, easy sell. So you've decided to take your Exchange into the cloud, and so what are the top 3 points of failure? DNS changes. It's always DNS. When I first deployed Office 365, because I'm a big fan of eat your own dog food, my first deployment, I hadn't done Link, and I didn't understand. And one of the things that happened was when I tried to do those text records, those SRV records, I missed one tiny thing. And you know that's not going to work. So keep an eye on your DNS. Make sure you know your settings. Make sure you've planned that, because this could really cause you some trouble. MigrationWiz.com is a tool that you can use to help your migrations go more smoothly. It's a third-party tool and will help you dramatically. Once you've moved your mailboxes, you can see the statistics, and this can really reduce your time to deploy. So what are the risks and mitigations, and how are we going to handle it? So if you do have an unforeseen showstopper with your deployment and your migration, you can always revert back to on-premise. It's easy to do. And migration time and upload speeds. How are you going to handle those migrations? And taking those into consideration is going to be very helpful to you. That's my presentation. I hope you'll consider Office 365, and I'd love to talk to you about how your migrations are going. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Jessica DeVita. Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you, Carl.
I liked it. Let's find out what the judges had to say.
Mark, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, so in terms of technicals, did a great job with the good agenda. You have somehow you have a poise that makes me believe you understand this. You've got like some kind of stance that's really working there. What is the? Oh, is that right? No, she really looks like I'm in your face. Shut up! I know this. Okay. No. And so I guess old guys are believing what you're saying. In what appears to be a nearly infallible speaker idle event, something went wrong, and you didn't freak out. I mean, I know you well enough to know that you were saying shit, but nobody else knew that. So you're probably
We're
right.
going to have to bleep out this
Yeah.
for private consumption.
We're like, and this is the last speaker idle that will ever be done. Funnies are good. They always feel a little cheap to me, but you know what? They do work. There's an actual fact that when I'm trying to teach you anything or convince you of anything, you have natural filters up. We all have filters. Even if you like the person, there's filters. There was a study done about 15 years ago with a functional MRI, where they actually discovered that if I make you laugh while I'm talking to you, the shields go down for somewhere between 13 and 19 seconds. Which is probably why funny guys get more girls than... Anyway, so... be careful with the Star Trek thing, only because that's probably a copyrighted image.
It's not. It's a meme.
Okay, great.
It's a meme.
Thank you. Okay, great. Terrific. Because it bothers me a lot when people,
I totally
it's just
agree.
my little weird tick, you know?
Okay.
You did tell us there were going to be 3 points of failure, but there were 4. Jess, I do that all the time. Use the Spanish Inquisition joke. Our 4th point, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
You tossed out a third-party thing. On one hand, I'm excited because I hated my migration. On the other hand,
Right.
really quickly, if you told me it was going to be cheap, is it going to be free, is it going to be expensive, that would have been nice. And technically, you told us what you were going to tell us. You didn't tell us what you told us. I'm not as iron about that, but a lot of people are going to say, I learned this at MCT school, and so you should do it. Okay?
Okay. Thank
Great,
you.
great presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Paula, your thoughts?
So I like the fact that you didn't really, that you were not disturbed when you saw the battery running out on the screen. Yeah, so you were like a little bit, but still calm, very professional. So I like that. It means that in like any other stressful situations, I'm pretty sure you're gonna handle them well. And additional thing, I would really appreciate if you could make smooth changes in between slides, and I will put some more energy to it, because I get then impression that you were like describing some slide, and then like a pause, and then the next slide, and a pause, and the next slide. Just a little bit something like that. And I thought that it would be very nice if you were not looking at the screen, because it happens sometimes, just smoothly run through your story and click your button, because you have in your head what is the next slide coming. So you want to visualize the background, and you just talk, you just click, and it just happens something in the back. To help you with that, you could put your laptop in a position that you're gonna see, yes, so that you can like move your eye a little bit if you want to be in control of whatever is displayed. Usually you've got screens in front of you, so that makes stuff a little bit easier, yeah, a lot easier. But in that kind of situation, you've got what you've got, so you just need to make it, I think, a little bit smoother with that kind of positioning of your laptop, yes. Besides that, like it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paula. Stephen, your thoughts?
Your voice got stronger, and then you projected after about a minute. I think after you got out, I feel really sad for your little square there because you squeezed the crap out of it. So be careful about holding things in your hand. But you obviously have a really good grip, so that's a good thing. As Paula said, obviously watch your screen, which is a good thing to do. You had one slide with 4 bullet points, and you didn't cover any of them. Went to the next slide, and I was like, "What did I just miss?" So make sure with every slide you stop, you cover it, and do the recap. But overall, it was good. It was a really good command of it. You went in some directions I didn't expect. It was a good why you want to do this. Here's why, where it's at. I agree. Just tell, retell. At that close pin, I think it would be almost a perfect presentation at that point if that was there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. Billy, last words.
Voice modulation has improved over last time. More variety and such. It's pretty clear that you worked on that, and that's good. I love that note, along with everybody else. And of course, I would give you the advice of looking at your power indicator at the beginning, but you will never make that mistake again, because now you've done it. And it happens because I recall a time Rocky Locke and I were co-presenting. His power supply developed a loose connection, and it came up for him. And I diagnosed it while he's talking, and then held the wire just so to allow him to get to the end of the presentation.
You, sir, are a professional.
So, so you won't have that problem again. You started slow, overcame that. Now you know what my last critique is going to be, don't you? You know what I'm going to say. What am I going to say?
And ahs.
Conversational tics. I got to counts if you want to see them, but while your voice modulation was much better, that was about the same as last time. So still something to work on.
Thank you.
Okay, Jeff Fritz. Big hand for Jeff Fritz. Hi, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And tell us about yourself briefly.
So I am an ASP insider. I am an occasional contributor to MSDN Magazine. I'm a Pluralsight author, and I'm a developer evangelist for ASP.NET at Telerik.
And not yet a tech ed speaker, and that's why you're here.
Not yet.
Tell us what you're going to talk about here.
So today I want to share with you 4 steps to mobilize your enterprise line of business web application.
Awesome. Take it away, Jeff Fritz.
Thank you very much. So how many of you are developers in a larger organization that doesn't do software for a living? Maybe you work in an IT department. Can I see a show of hands? Yeah, so I see about 10% of us here. So in the past, in my past, I've done this type of work, and we built web applications. And we might build something that looks like this, where we've got a bunch of controls and some charts and some rich data that our organization is dependent on. Our users are our colleagues, fellow employees. And we built this perhaps back in 2005. It works great in Internet Explorer 8, and we're loving life. And then that day happens. That day happens where the executive goes out to Best Buy over lunch, and they bring in the latest, greatest tablet, and they hook it up to the network, and they go to look at your application, and it doesn't work. It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. That executive talks to this executive talks to your boss, and now we have the bring your own device policy. There are so many shapes and sizes and operating systems out there. There's more than 4,000 different permutations. Your application is designed to work in Internet Explorer 8. What do you do? So this is where I'm going to show you 4 steps that you can use to mobilize your application. So step 1, let's make sure we upgrade our project. We're on the latest version of our tools. That means ASP.NET 4.5 and Visual Studio 2012 Update 2. There's all kinds of great improvements in there for you for performance, security, and mobile modern web capabilities. For more information, I recommend you check out asp.net/vnext. So I want to show you just a quick video that'll show you how easy it is to convert a project from ASP.NET 2 to 4.5. So what you need to do first is open Visual Studio as an admin. This is because the old projects were installed in the local web server. So we need admin rights. We're going to get a warning that our project's about to be converted. That's okay. We're going to get our upgrade report. Close that out. Next, let's right-click on our project. We're going to say, make this a web application. We get warned because it's going to add designer CS files to the project. Finally, we're going to do properties of the project and mark it as .NET 4.5. We get a warning, say OK to that, and you're done. You're in, you now have a project that runs ASP.NET 4.5. With that in play, we can now configure a feature called friendly URLs. So friendly URLs is a great feature that takes advantage of the new ASP.NET routing system. So if we add a command here like we see on the left, routes.enable friendly URLs, we can take our URLs that are requested of our application from something like this, conference default ASPX, to something like this, /conference. Additionally, we get mobile device detection. So on the right, you see a snapshot of my Solution Explorer, where I have default ASPX out there, and that's normally what's going to be responded to /conference. When ASP.NET sees that a mobile device is requesting, it'll instead return the default mobile ASPX content for you. Handy, because now in that mobile ASPX version, I can take advantage of step 3. Let's put some mobile capable content in that page. So maybe my website looks like this on my Windows phone, right? So I've got an image that bleeds off the side, controls that are too small for my finger, and content that's way too small for me to see. Let's size that content appropriately for this device. Let's make an image, a title image that fits in the device, and upsize our controls so that my finger can touch them, and then make the content easier for me to see. With all this in play now, my mobile devices can have a much better experience. Last, let's deploy to a secure public website. So most of these devices, they don't have a VPN stack. They don't have capabilities to connect into your company's intranet. So if we put it out on the public intranet, then you can come in and you can work with it securely. I recommend Windows Azure for the Active Directory integration. There's all kinds of easy ways to deploy there. I've listed some of them here on the slide. So let's wrap up. Summary, steps for success. Let's go to the latest version of our tools. When we do that, we can enable friendly URLs, configure them. Then let's put mobile capable content inside those mobile ASPX pages and then deploy to a public secure website. I recommend Windows Azure. All of your employees will be able to see your application and they'll be happy being able to work anywhere in the world with it. Finally, I have some related content for you. I have all these slides and some samples out at bit.ly/FritzSI13. If you want to take a picture of the QR code, you can get that link right now. If you want to catch me later, I'll be at Telerik booth 517. My name is Jeff Fritz. Thank you for your time.
Jeff Fritz, wow.
Nicely done, sir.
Nicely done. I thoroughly enjoyed that and I learned something. Let's see what the judges think.
Paul, I'm going to start with you.
Perfect timing.
Thank you.
Fantastic timing. Okay, couple of things. Yeah, so maybe first positive. Professional to the bones. Yes, so you did whatever's supposed to be done on the stage. Really, and I really enjoy your voice. It's nice to listen to. Though I'm wondering if, like, I could listen that kind of tone for 75 minutes. What I would like to see in the presentation is an interrupt. Interrupt. For example, engage with audience. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love it, but I would like to, maybe if you could raise some questions, like how we are doing so far. Is everything okay? You've got some questions, so that you are just not running and so on. Just my comment. And besides that, it was super professional, of course. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paula. Stephen, your thoughts?
On the voice thing, I agree with Paul a bit. I wanted a little more modulation. You were starting to sound like a narration to a video, like, "Hi, welcome, here we are doing this again," and going down that. And I wanted to see a bit of a break and some, "All right, now here we are," and kind of wait for your audience and break. It's like you were going to keep going whether they were ready or not. So I think some pauses, a little modulation, create a little tension with the audience as you're going through stuff. You used, I set up, now you got me doing it. Thanks, Mark. You had a video. You didn't say you were using a video. It
Yes,
would have
I
been
did.
great. You
There
did,
was a slide.
But was it real time? Is that how quickly it works? And that was what nice to know is, I have a video, but this is real time or this is sped up.
Okay.
Just anytime you're using a video, is this exactly what I'm going to expect or is it sped up? So you did call it out this time, which is good, but let me know, yeah, we've compressed this a bit or this is real time as you're going through it. Otherwise, really great. You took a lot of the feedback we gave you the other day, put it in, and much improved. Nice job.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Stephen. Billy, your turn.
Yeah, I agree. The voice modulation is improved. I thought that the level of energy and pacing was about right for a 5-minute talk. I would agree that you couldn't do that for 75 minutes. You would just fatigue the audience's attention span. But for 5 minutes, I have no problems with it. If I were doing a 5-minute presentation and I knew 5 minutes is all I had, I'd probably be at about the same level of pace. So for this case, I don't necessarily criticize it, even though I think their points are well taken if you were doing something longer. Use of the hands was improved, and you certainly appeared less nervous. So I saw some improvement, as they said, over last time. If you could get the so's out, then your conversational tick problem would be gone.
Yes.
Awesome, Billy. Mark, you get the last word.
Paula, sorry, I misunderstood you. You were saying you didn't like the way he was using the voice. I thought you were saying, I don't like your voice. I thought, that's not nice. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. So I wasn't around for the first time, so the stuff I would have bitched about on Monday you didn't get to hear before. So that's not entirely fair, but just pass along. I'm largely an IT pro. I'm the guy who writes my website, so I'm a little bit of a coder, not a good one. Mm-hmm. If that weren't for that fact, I wouldn't know what a control was. When you said it's a nice website, got controls, IT pros don't know that stuff.
Okay.
Great story. You've clearly done it many, many times. And that's probably why, once Stephen and Paula said it, I guess it did sound like an infomercial. And if you act now, for 1995, we'll give you 2 of them. No.
I have that voice.
No, you've got it down. It was actually to the point of creepy because, no, I'm serious.
Come on, Mark.
Let me finish.
Tell me how you really feel.
Let me finish. When you had the demo up, you were going so fast because, again, I'm just a simple IT pro. You got to do it in IT pro dummy speak for me. I missed you telling us it was an animation. I remembered the discussion though because I was sitting in the back, for that one. But it was weird that your hand was actually, it's like the mouse pointer was moving as your I was like, so I wasn't listening. How the hell's he doing that? I'm like, that's really awesome. So
It's a new control.
I can believe that. It's Connect PowerPoint. I get that. Your pointed to ASP.NET got me interested. My website is all classic ASP, pause for laughter. And so now I have to look at it. Demo was good, just otherworldly. I love the friendly URL stuff. You cleverly cheated. You did something really, really good that good speakers do. You got me liking you because you told me about a product you didn't make, but you're presenting it to me. So all those hardworking developers at Microsoft I'll never meet, but I think you're cool because of that. So that was perhaps the most exciting thing in the presentation was the mobile resizing. And I wish you'd spent 15 seconds on how much work that is. When we went from bang to bang, it's like, really? Is that a button? Is there a wizard, or is it just easier to do? So it would be nice to know that. You use the actual speaker template from TechEd. Congratulations, that was very, very, very good. You will find that you hate the TechEd speaker templates. They're designed by people who hate presentations. So just so you understand.
I learned that the hard way one night.
Oh yeah. Very good pandering to the conference organizers by saying I would recommend Azure. That was excellent.
And the Windows Phone.
The Windows Phone. And I guess I'm the only person with this tick, but I hate animating bouncy PowerPoint slides. It makes me a little nauseous. I use animation when I need to tell a story. And I make the point of saying I'm really bad at doing PowerPoint animations. So this stuff you saw, this was like a 10-day operation. And they only do that because I get a laugh, but they also focus. They're ready for it. They're ready for the animation. It's not gratuitous bouncy slides. So that's all. So a great presentation.
Thank you, Mark.
Darren Sutton, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Darren.
How you doing, everyone? Good to see you.
Tell us just a little about yourself.
My name's Darren Sutton. I'm an IT network security consultant for a billion-dollar government organization. And I'm also a Microsoft trainer for Global Knowledge, Microsoft's #1 training partner.
Awesome. What are you talking about today?
Well, Mark Rasinovich gave me this 650-page book last night. I read the whole thing. I figured the next 4 hours we can talk Windows internal debugging, and you look confused. Never mind. I'll tell you what. Why don't we just talk about Windows Intune? It's really cool.
Sounds good. Darren Sutton.
Glad to see everybody stayed with us. Thank you very much. I know I'm interrupting your lunch. You want to get over there and get some more brisket. But I appreciate taking a few minutes. I'm going to try and tell you about Windows Intune, a product that I learned about in the past year, and I thought it was really cool. So maybe if I show it to you, a couple things that you can use Windows Intune for to make your life easier. And that's what we want to do, right? As IT professionals, find something that we can make a little bit easier our life. So I'm going to give you a little 5-minute overview. I'll tell you 10 points. I'll build them one at a time. And if you like those 10 points, well, maybe we hang out for a little while and we'll delve a little bit deeper in them over the next hour. And we'll handle some Q&A at the end if you're interested. So we're just going to go over this, and we'll even show you an online demo. Maybe see something that you haven't seen before and make it a little bit interesting for you. So here's my top 10 list, one at a time. We're talking a free 30-day trial. Who likes free out there? All right, great. We probably have a few IT managers, and they're going, he's going to tell me about another product. Well, it's free. Not only is it free, but you don't have to worry about infrastructure because it's going to be cloud-based. And that's what I want you to know. So you don't have to worry about training people. It's going to be a simple product. It's a web-based subscription. And if you're already using SCCM, there's even a discount for you. It's a PC management console, but not just PCs, devices, tablets. Anybody get a tablet this week? 1, 2, oh, everybody, excellent. Glad to see that you were able to take advantage of that special. It's cloud-based, and this means that not only can your end user, your support person, but even me, I can walk away and I can dial in, I can service hundreds of machines or devices, even if they're thousands of miles away. So you don't have to worry about infrastructure. You can tell your boss, we're doing something in the cloud to meet that demand that he has. He wants us to be in the cloud and have a presence, right? Number 4, endpoint protection. As I mentioned, the bane of IT security administrators. How do I get to those people that aren't in my network? It doesn't matter where your device is. I'll be able to control AV and malware as long as they're connected to the internet, even across the country or across the world. Number 5, MS Easy Assist. All the time, sometimes our individual folks that support are worried about using remote assist and remote desktop. Can I have a third-party product? This allows you to see what's going on live with the other person's desktop or even share desktops without having to log in yourself. Number 6, updates. Being able to deliver not just Microsoft's updates, those security and critical that we want to, but any third-party update for a line of business application that you might be using and consider important for your organization. Software, distribution, and deployment. That's right, the word anywhere is up there. No matter where they are, no matter whether that laptop is in the office, no matter whether or not it even ever comes and connects into your particular network. How about this? No matter whether it's not even on your domain, I can control the applications and distribute them out to them because of the agent that's running there. Number 6, asset management. So any of those ALM folks worrying about hardware reports, software reports, licensing and compliance, lots of reports for them. They can see what's on there, even down to how much space is left on a mobile device. Number 9, monitoring. Proactive monitoring, being able to look at what's out there, receive those alerts in case some malware popped up, And did I mention lots of reporting available from these consoles? And my favorite, security. Being able to apply and enforce security policy on local devices or remote devices, wherever they are, via the internet. Firewall policies, update policies, patching, anything you want, you can go ahead and handle this. So we'll spend some time over the next hour talking about it. It's a simplified console. You don't have to worry about learning something new. Most of the time, your people are familiar with this. It supports multiple operating systems, although Microsoft would like us all to use a Windows operating system. We do recognize there's others out there, right? So besides your Windows desktop and your Windows laptop, we also are supporting the Windows RT, your Windows Phone, and notice at the end, iOS and Android. So Windows Intune will take care of those for you. If you already have Microsoft's great management system, don't worry. Intune works in harmony with System Center. If you don't have System Center, then maybe you have a smaller shop. You wish you had some of those benefits. Think of Intune as maybe like System Center in a cloud. It brings you some of that same capability. It's a really cool product. So there's a lot more information. Of course, I'll make the slides available to you, but all you really have to remember is right here, the yellow bar, Microsoft.com/Intune. It's got everything you want, including that free 30-day trial. So again, I appreciate your time, and we'll delve a little bit deeper into this information.
All right, Darren.
Well done, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's
Appreciate
find
it.
out what the judges thought of you.
Stephen, I'm going to start with you.
Nice job. You took a lot of the feedback that we gave you. Your opening was much, much better. Glad to see the slide build. You had a slide said top 10 list. It would have been nice to say top 10 list of what, and what we were looking at a top 10 list of. A few things. You said that Windows Intune will apply policies. You didn't say whether or not that was domain joined or not domain joined. And I know that that's policies only for if somebody has a consumer version of a product, it's not going to work. And you also led me to believe that it will do all operating systems. It's not going to do group policies for iOS. It has some, you need to be careful. You're making some very sweeping statements that if people start to pick into it, you'll lose some speaker credibility because they go, oh, so I can put all my Macs on here and manage them through Intune and do group policies. And that's not necessarily true. So be careful. I like what you said. It was great energy, but it was not all factual. And you have to be very careful because you could lose credibility doing that. Good energy, fix the mistakes that we saw the other day. You did a good job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Stephen. Billy, over to you.
Yeah, one point, you may have done this last time, but I didn't notice it if you did, when you said that the metaphor was System Center in the cloud, and I thought that was good. I guess. I mean, I'm not an IT guy, and I don't know if it applies. But assuming that the metaphor fits, then anytime that you can put that into a presentation, that gives a very solid thing that people walk out of there firmly in their minds. And to me, when I'm doing a presentation, I'm looking for 2 or 3 of those in a typical 1-hour presentation. That's what I want, those phrases to go out of there in people's minds. And I thought that was a good example of the kind of thing that you want there.
Thank you.
It was a lot of talking before. Presumably you get to a demo later. Did you do a demo last time?
No.
No? Okay, I couldn't remember. So many people have done
That's the
things.
next 10 minutes.
But yeah, it's just enough that it starts to sound like you're almost selling it instead of explaining it. You were almost on the edge of that there. Okay. And you have to be careful of that because at any major conference presentation, you'll have attendees who are hypersensitive to being fed what they regard as marketing content. So you do have to be kind of careful that they're not going to go there. But yeah, the other things that they said, it is improved since last time. Your energies are really, really good. Your delivery and pacing are quite good. So generally, good job overall.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Billy. Mark.
I'm going to start off by saying that Hollis took all my good stuff. So I'm just going to start by saying what Hollis said. One thing that it didn't, first of all, you've got a great speaking voice. You have a good, we can't use this word anymore because it means something in Microsoft, but cadence. It's the new take a shot when a Microsoft guy says the word. But something that I really, really, really did not like, and I know you didn't mean to offend, was you jerked me around about time. First you came out with Mark's book, and we're going to do 6 hours, and then you kept saying we're going to do an hour, and then we'll do this, and I understand what you're doing. You're nervous in front of the audience. You're trying to establish a rapport. If you were meeting some people in a bar, busting somebody's horns is a way to do that. When you're a speaker, that doesn't work. You are the most powerful person in the room. You have the podium. For example, I mean, how do you deal with a jerk in the audience? Somebody just won't shut the heck up. if it's the 5 of us in a bar, you say, "Will you shut up?" You know. But if you push on people, you look like a bully. So you've got to be careful about that. Okay. Don't let them feel jerked around. And really, the more honest, the more genuine, the more sincere. I mean, explaining and making people believe anything is all about sincerity. Once you can fake that, you're there. Okay? And
I'll keep that in mind.
and I'm sorry, but I honestly don't believe you've ever used the product. Don't tell me if you did or not, but I really didn't feel like that. I really felt like it was, you grabbed some bullet points and some nice logo stuff and prepared a nice presentation, and, you know, and that sort of thing. And I think that's, well, anyway, that's right. So
Appreciate
again, terrific presentation. You got a lot across in the few amount of minutes that we got done. I kind of wish, Rose, don't listen. I kind of wish that you considered the alternate concern. The biggest concern about Intune to me is that right now I buy Windows devices, I control them with group policy for $0 a month. Intune feels like it's something Microsoft's doing now, where we're paying $6 per heartbeat per month for stuff that we used to get free. That bothers me a little bit, but I understand also that we're moving from CapEx to OpEx. Those are big things and they're hard to cover. But I really think that if you talk to 800 people at TechEd, it's the 800-pound gorilla. It's the elephant in the room. You should at least acknowledge it and either say, you know, Manasseh's going to hate this, but when it comes right down to it, this is cheaper than CAL's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or we get this productivity. That's all, okay? But again, great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. Paul, you get the last word.
Pretty much, not much left to say actually. I like the fact that you actually corrected things that we were discussing last time, and whatever the things were, you did it, and you did it very well. So it means that you got the point, you want to do best, and you would like to win that competition.
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
for sure. I like the energy that you got. You engage the audience. You ask questions to the audience as well. You went very smoothly through some points. For every point, you had some story to share. And I like the fact that you were actually pinpointing some words. So it made me look at you and at the slide deck at the same time, because you were like, yeah, so it brought my attention. And that's basically pretty much it. I like it.
Thank you so much.
All right,
time.
judges, here comes the hard job. I need a winner and a runner-up. If for whatever reason the winner can't speak at TechEd next year, the runner-up will get the slot. So huddle up.
And we are seconds away from finding out who is going to be a speaker in Houston next year at TechEd.
Can we have a runner-up, please?
Mark Manasseh.
One more time.
All right, our runner-up is Jeff.
Jeff
Fritz.
Well done, sir. And our winner.
Jessica.
Wow.
Wow, all right.
That's Speaker
Congratulations,
Idol, folks.
Jessica.
Thanks so much for coming out. We'll see you again next year.